Ahoy, shipmates! We've got a three-ship hang on, that's not right. We've got a three-ship departure day today. It was going to be really good timings. We had Queen Mary 2 at 5, then P&O Iona at 5:30, then Red Olsen at 6. Unfortunately, Queen Mary 2 has been delayed. There we go, that's Queen Mary 2. Been delayed, not sure why, haven't heard anything on the radio. I'm suspecting some passengers arriving late would be my guess. That's all normally seems to happen that causes the ship to be delayed. But Iona's due away any moment now. She's radioed in. She said everything is tickety-boo. Let's have a little look at the stern of Iona. Oh, I can't see any shipmate activity there as it happens. No, it's very quiet. I don't think she's quite ready to go just yet. Quick look at the weather, shall we? It is rather chilly, 6 degrees centigrade out there. It has warmed up slightly. It has been quite quite low for the last couple of days. And very grey. Grey seems to have been the theme. Yeah, there's a bit of a sunset out there today. Lots of traffic. That's because Southampton Football Club have been playing today against Bournemouth. I certainly noticed that when I was walking through town earlier. There was lots of traffic, lots of people. And unfortunately, it sounds like Southampton have lost again. Ah, there we go. I've spotted a little chap down there in the window. So it looks like Iona is still ready to go fairly rapidly. Iona is off. Check my information. She is off on a 7-day Northern European city escape, having just returned from a 35-day trip to the Caribbean. It's good this time of year. We start to get a few more of the ships that do the world cruises start returning. And in case you're wondering, we've with channel sponsor Paul Love Cruise, we've set up a Solent Ships inaugural group cruise in 2025, which I see shipmate Paul is in the chat. Yes, he is. Just remind me, Paul, I need to book up that cruise, don't I? I suppose I should go as well. Although I'm not sure I trust you booking the cabin, because it'll probably end up with a presidential suite or something. So we'll have words about that later. Oh, hi there, Richard H20. Oh, many thanks for your, I think that's a super chat. Many thanks, shipmate. Much appreciated. Just trying to get the camera running. I've had problems, I don't know if you remember, I've had problems with the cameras not giving me the image quality that I desire. And that problem has eventually solved itself. Well, not really solved itself. The internet provider was causing me the problems, and they've changed some optical cable, and it's now working beautifully. And then promptly 2 days later, Cam goes offline. And I need to get into the sailing club, but obviously this time of year they're not very busy, and I don't have keys for that particular sailing club. So I shall have to get down there and have a look. But if I could just get onto, so I'm just loading up the control app for Netlycam, because Netlycam is working beautifully, and I can see a lovely little sunset going on from Netlycam. So we had quite a few people during the day up on the top of P&O Iona there. There we go. No. Yeah, there we go. There you go, quite a pleasant little sunset there for Queen Mary 2. Although by the time she departs at 7:15, it is going to be quite dark, unfortunately. But anyway, we'll get to see a little brightness for P&O's departure. P&O's Iona. And Iona's off on a 7-day round trip. She's calling at Hamburg in Germany, Rotterdam in the Netherlands, and then Zeebrugge in Belgium. And it's an overnight in Rotterdam, which I think is pretty good. When you dock in Rotterdam by the Erasmus Bridge, you're right in the centre of town. So actually, I think doing an overnight in Rotterdam would be brilliant, because you can just walk off the ship, walk around the corner, and head up into Rotterdam. There's a couple of pubs on the river there actually as well. A really good place to go. In fact, I know. There we go. Where's my thing gone? I've lost my buttons. Do you know what? I haven't done this for a little while, and it's surprising how you get out of doing it quite quickly, isn't it? Right, Paul's kind enough to send over some pricing information if you're interested on travelling on Iona. So this will be for March this year, 7 nights. And in fact, I think this is exactly the same cruise. So you Southampton, a day at sea, Rotterdam overnight, Zeebrugge, and Belgium, Bruges. Oh yeah, so it's missing the Hamburg part of it. And that is 7 nights from 499 inside. Shipmate Nathan Harrison says, minus Hamburg due to Storm Dara. Oh, we did that last Christmas. Oh, yeah, that's a bit of a problem this time of year. After some of the storms come through and knock you out. But perhaps you'd fancy something rather than Northern Europe. Perhaps you'd fancy more of a Spain and France trip on Iona. And this is for August. So I can guarantee it'll be raining, and that's next year. Southampton, Spain, La Coruna in Spain, Vigo in Spain, Cherbourg, and then back to the UK, and that's from 700, or with a balcony 1,000. Yeah, we can see our little shipmate there. He's right in the corner. He's keeping an eye on the lines, but don't think anything's happening as yet. So we've got a couple of shipmates up by the side. They've been waving torches and flashing lights at us. Very highly visible. Excellent. I'm going to go back to Netley Cam because it's quite pretty at the moment. Let's see if I can get a bit of a better picture with the sun setting behind Queen Mary 2. It's being very delayed, but always beautiful colours. I wonder if there's anything on the ferry cam. No, not much on ferry cam. And we'll stick with Netley Cam for the moment. I think the radio is on. Let me check, is the radio on? I haven't heard anything from the radio. I have a little habit of turning off. Yep, radio is on. Okay, good. And there's even some people jumping and dancing up on the top five. Very excited there, looking forward to their trip to Hamburg. So that gives you an idea on some pricing there. Yeah, so Iona returned today from a 35-day round trip to the Caribbean. So I thought it was quite interesting. Quite a few good destinations there. In fact, she's probably very close to the Gulf of what is now called the Gulf of America. And I've noticed that's called for a whole lot of people to start renaming places around the world. And the latest one I've seen is actually quite a local one to here. So I think maybe I need to change the name of the channel because someone on this sent me this marine chart. And apparently it's no longer the Solent, it is the Gulf of Warsash. I think it's just a way to encourage people to buy more nautical charts. Oh, yeah, it's looking really pretty this evening, isn't it? Very calm out there. What's the wind? Winds must be... Oh, yes, it's below 10 knots. Gently gusting from the south. Oh, I'll make sure the outside microphone works. Let me do that, because I forgot to do that last time. How do I do that? Almost forgot. No, there we go. Outside microphone's working good. Yep, that's all good. Oh, the shipmate Johnny P says Gulf of America. Yes, Donald Trump has now decided to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And it popped up on my Google Maps the other day. Now it says Gulf of Mexico, brackets, Gulf of America. And if you're interested in joining us on our group cruise, where we are going to Hamburg as well. We are overnighting in Hamburg. Day at sea there, day at sea back, overnighting in Hamburg. I've already booked up my tickets to Miniature World. Make sure I book up all the other adventures as well. Yeah, Iona's got 2 cruises coming up to Northern Europe. Then in March, she does a couple of longer ones down to the Canary Islands. And then beginning April, she returns to her usual 7-day round trip to the fjords. All the way until September, where she has a little dabble with the Canary Islands again for a while. And then beginning January, off on a 35-day round trip again to the Caribbean. Oh, there's plenty of shipmates in the chat, so I should go back and have a look. The chat is wisdom. Oh, there's shipmate Wayno. Yes, and saying that the captain has just announced that QM2 is now after 7 years. Currently, I think she's listed to depart at 7:15. It was going to be 5 o'clock, but she's been delayed. I don't know why. Probably passengers stuck on traffic somewhere. That seems to be the popular reason for delays these days. Ahoy there, Jonathan Smith. Asking what the delay is. Ahoy there, Rab Nesbitt. And ahoy there, Hilary Fletcher. Ahoy there, Ellie Murley. Ahoy there, Johnny B. Ahoy there, Edward Coates. And ahoy there, Leslie R. Leslie R generously waved her flag to us the other week. But unfortunately, by the time the ship left, it was so dark, we couldn't really see what the flag was. Apparently, it was I think it was a Norfolk flag, which she's waving. Oh, she says ahoy from Norfolk as well. Ahoy there, Georgina Stevenson. And ahoy there, Jill Marsh. Ahoy there, Elizabeth Leaborn. Ahoy there, Johnny B. I think I've got most people covered now. Ahoy there, Shepherd Book. Ahoy there, Steve Mack. God, there's a lot of comments here, isn't there? I must have been... You have to wait. Ahoy there, Abby. Oh, she's gutted that she can't do the cruise on the 14th of October. Mother works in school, so can't make it. Fingers crossed. The next one arranged during school holidays. Ooh. Well, I'm sure we'll arrange some more. I'm not sure about doing school holidays though. But yeah, maybe that might be an option. See what's around.
BDS, Iona.
There we go.
Iona, Southampton.
Yeah, single up on 46 berth. We clear to go, please.
Iona, Southampton, busiest. You're clear to proceed.
Thank you, no traffic. Thank you.
No traffic.
That does answer my question if the radio is working. And yes, the radio is working. Okay, Iona singled up. I can't... Oh, yeah, I can see the lines going in now. I don't know if you can see that. The bottom of our screen there. Behind, must be a bit of a low tide, is it? Low tide? Yes, it is a bit of a low tide because the Iona is sort of behind the dock side. In tide's high, it's quite easy to see her. Yeah, when the tide is low, it makes all the difference. Just about to see those lines coming in. I'm ready on the horn button. Might be a tad tricky for you to see, but yes, that's the updated map. As you can see, it says Gulf of Mexico, brackets Gulf of America. Oh, like I say earlier, probably the updated map for this area is the Gulf of Walsash. Well, the shipmate Isle of Wight Adventures. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Many thanks for becoming a member. Join us here. Oh, hang on. I know what I've done. I've forgotten to do my thing. Oh, look at that. It's the first time I think I've seen any sun for days. The weatherman was saying earlier that some cities in the UK have had over 7 days without any sun. But in case you're wondering, I am the captain of the Solent Ships YouTube channel, broadcasting to you live and direct from here in the port of Southampton. Today we have 3 departures. Iona is singled up. She's the first away. Iona's away now, singled up. Fred Olsen, Balmoral. She's from the other end of the port. She's away at 6 o'clock. And then Queen Mary 2, who we can see right in front of us, she is away at 7:15, slightly delayed. And that goes the other line down for Iona. It looks like she is now off. You can see the chaps there, look, throwing the lines in the water. And yes, and you can see Iona moving. Excellent. Right, I'm ready. Let's hope we get some honking, because we didn't get any honking the other day. I've got some waving going on. the Queen Mary 2 there, all lit up. It's very often see her with these sort of like purple stern. Well, the shipmate Shepherd Book, he's looking forward to some haulage. Got my ears open. I'm not hearing anything just yet. Oh, I can hear some music in the background. Well, the shipmate Guy brought us. Said he's on Iona next week. Wife has an eye on a Radley handbag. Oh dear, you poor soul. I would carefully look at the deck plan for Iona and make sure you navigate round entirely by avoiding the shopping areas. Oh my word, look at the lights going on. Some very bright shipmates there. I reckon we could probably see them from a couple of nautical miles away. What is visibility? Visibility is 11 nautical miles. Not brilliant then. I think they must have something other than mobile phone torches, because that looks incredibly bright light. I have some friends travelling on Iona next week. So far I think they've gone on 2 or 3 cruises from the port of Southampton here, and each time they're on the wrong side of the ship to wave. I keep explaining to them it's the left side, the port side, but they seem to end up on the wrong side, or in the galley. Not in the bar, I mean. Very bright on the back of Queen Mary 2. Well, the shipmate Louise, she is on Iona, waiting to leave. I think you're on your way. Well, the shipmate Jerry Capstick says they're a bit late. They had to do a bit of pier running. Pier running? It's a sport I'm not aware of. Definitely heard that one today. The wind was in the right direction. It's amazing what a difference the wind makes. Three blasts on the horn, of course, means be careful. I'm heading backwards. Heading astern. Going astern. Going backwards. Left hand down. Well, the shipmate CS28. I was a fan of the horns in CS28. Oh, there we go. We can really see Iona moving away quite promptly now from the dockside. We'll get a good view when Queen Mary 2 departs. We can see her lines quite easily from the box cam point of view. Unfortunately, Balmoral is round the corner at the other end of Mayflower Park. Yeah, this horn sounded particularly good today. It's one of the advantages of having a sort of southerly wind blows it straight to the microphone. Well, the shipmate AVV Brian, welcome aboard, shipmate. Many thanks for subscribing. The pilot said he will radio with numbers shortly, but I haven't heard anything as yet. Initially, you see Iona moving away from the dockside. Now she's slowly heading astern. Well, the shipmate Broken Burke, they can't wait to board Iona March the 1st. Where are you going on March the 1st then? Is that a Norwegian one? Oh no, you're off to Spain and Portugal. Yeah, could do with a bit of a sunny Spanish trip at this time of year. Getting rather bored of all those grey skies. Oh, there, Paul. I just put any luck picking up the side mic. Yes and no. I tried something and it wasn't really a suitable system, but I think I had another idea of how to do it. I thought there was an easy way of doing it, and I miscalculated some technical things. So at the moment I'm just using the microphone and the camera, but I will install a better microphone shortly. Also, the microphone needs to be windproof and pigeon-proof. We've got quite a few shipmates out on the balconies. I'm not expecting a particularly busy balconies today, given the fact that it's under 6C. Interesting to hear what the numbers are for this time of year. I'm expecting quite busy. Well, the shipmates Carl Davis, they're on Iona in 1st November. And shipmate Nathan Ozan's back to Norway in 2026 on Iona. Gosh, you've booked up a long way in advance, haven't you? The shipmate Liz, she's from somewhere a long way north. Ayr, I think in Scotland. She says, messages keep disappearing. Oh, I'm not sure, but I'm sure I can help you with that one, shipmate. I know that YouTube does do some strange things with the messaging and so on. Unfortunately, it's out of my control. I think I can see some more people waving. I thought that was my eyes. Hang on, let me, what can I do here? I'm confused with which camera I'm looking at. Easily confused with the captain. Oh, do you know what? I thought that was something else. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, look, there's a whole load of people waving their torches up right on the stern. That must be the decks up there. Very easily high visibility, good standouts to have your flashlights on your mobile phones or your torches, depending on your country of origin. Right, let's get this camera working again now. It seems to be having a funny 5 minutes. There we go. Oh, well, the shipmate Liz, who is in there, says it's very, very cold. I must say, every time you give us a weather report, shipmate Liz, it always sounds like it's better down here in the south. We can see on this wider view here, you can definitely see that torch flashing away into the P&O sign. Very visible. Well, the shipmate Raymond says, when they left Iona this morning, they said there was going to be 1,300 children on today. 1,300? Is it sort of half term or something? Must be half term. Wow. Shipmate Elizabeth says she can sometimes hear the horns.
Red Eagle, also thank you. Iona underway from the Ocean Dock, waiting to hear from the Balmoral on 101.
Yes, I've heard that from many viewers of the channel. They live locally. If the wind is in the right direction, it's amazing how far the ship horns travel. We've got a few more torches up on the deck there of Iona on one of the balconies. Nope, no, it's gone off. And there is, back on again.
BTS Red Falcon, shortly departing Royal Pier for Cows.
Red Falcon, thank you. Iona just coming out from the Ocean Dock, will be station.
Copy that, thank you.
Thank you, and dock head if you need it is 0.99.
All copied, thank you.
Tell there's a nice gentle breeze today. We're going to get some lovely frictions on the water there. Yes, Ellie Burley says 1,300 children. That's nightmare fuel, she says. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I would enjoy 1,300 children. Depends how well behaved they are, I suppose. I suppose certain areas of the ship. I don't know if there's some adult-only bars on Iona. I know on one of the ships we went on, they had adult-only bars. So if you had children, you couldn't take them into the adult-only bars, which was a good compromise. And then friends we sailed with, they had been on the sister ship, which didn't have an adult-only bar, and they said it was absolutely packed. Shipmate Jill Marsh says, yes, it's half term. There we go. Oh, shipmate Footy Edits says, this sailing hasn't shown on P&O's website for weeks. Not a single person capacity left. Interest here, the numbers. Oh, right. Yes, actually, they make a good point there, shipmate. The numbers will be interesting because...
Roger 6, thank you. Iona just coming out from the Ocean Dock outbound, waiting to hear from the Balmoral departure.
Because I suspect if there's 1,300 children on board, and we've got another flasher up there, 1,300 children on board, I suspect there'll be a lot of maximum occupancy in the cabins. So I think we could have a really big number. I hadn't thought about that. Half term is probably the time when you're going to get the most people on board, isn't it? Okay. So in that case, the question is, what do we think the number might be? Now, Iona's double occupancy capacity is 5,206. Maximum occupancy, that's if you pull out the sofa bed and have the little nippers in the cabin with you, is 6,264. So I'm suspecting we are going to be over 6,000. That would be my guess. Oh, shipmate Mark Page says, oh, probably the same next week as they are half term or different parts of the country. Ah, interesting. If you're interested to know the price for one of these cruises, so a similar one. This is on Iona in 13th of March, so a few weeks' time. Slightly different itinerary, going to Rotterdam in the Netherlands, but an overnight, and then Bruges, over in Belgium, Bruges. That's from 499 or 629 with a balcony. You can see the Queen Mary 2 there in the background. Well, there should be your cruise questions. This is ahoy. Well, Jonathan Smith says not the best itinerary for 1,300 children, cold and miserable.
Southampton Beach.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I'm wondering if it is the best itinerary for children.
That's for Steve. You have 2 hours and 45 minutes to your pilot. 2 hours and 45 minutes, so please adjust your speed to arrive at this time.
Well, the shipmate, your cruise question says they are on board, Iona. He's in Pearl.
Thank you. If you can pass the nav power at 2015. Pass the nav power at 201.
Shipmate's in the Pearl restaurant. Having a bite to eat. I'd say that's bad timing, shipmate, although... Well, no, 5:30. Well, beating the masses. Shipmate Jonathan Smith said he did it last year on Britannia, freezing cold and windy. Yeah, I know, that would be my thoughts. I mean, if I was being guilty about it, I'd rather go south, I think, down to the Caribbean. Well, not to the Caribbean, the Canary Islands, but that's not something you can really do in 1 week, is it? Shipmate Edward Coates says the children aren't allowed on every deck. Yeah, I don't remember when I went on Iona during term time, so there wasn't any children on board for it to be an issue, I suppose. Yep, looks like we've got the bow thrusters firing up there, moving the bow around. Oh, shipmate Hillary. Oh. Said it was 5 years since Iona's float out. Sounds about right. It was 2020? No, it might be 4 years. I think it was 2021. Check, can't I? Yes, 2021. So it's been 4 years. I hadn't been doing the channel very long. It was a exciting day, that's, with Iona coming up Southampton water. We've got some new ships arriving in port this year. The first one will be Norwegian Aqua, and I'm actually taking Norwegian Aqua on a maiden voyage from here in the port of Southampton to Boston and Massachusetts. Shipmate John Smith's on Queen Mary 2 in 2 weeks' time, calling it Lisbon and Vigo. Oh, that sounds like a good cruise, as long as there's no storms going in.
Good evening. We'd like to depart from the Empress Dock and follow the Iona downriver for SO number 6, please. 4.3, 182 and 12 POB.
That's all. See the Red Falcon just astern of the Iona, waiting here for the Balmoral.
Yeah, all copied, sir. Thank you.
Whichever shipmate that is with the bright torch on the top of Iona, you're certainly very visible. You're a long-range flasher. Shipmate Chef Book said another reason to hide in the crow's nest. Yeah, hopefully the crow's nest is adult only. I would think so. Oh no, shipmate Kaney E says that you can't avoid children in the crow's nest. They are allowed in. I think that's a mistake. Crow's Nest is my favourite bar on Iona. It's right at the top, right at the front. You can sit in the windows, pretending you're captain. Shipmate Natasha Crockett is off on Iona in April with the family for a golden wedding anniversary. Well, excellent, well done. Good idea. Let someone else do all the catering. we go. So waiting for the numbers. I'm curious to these numbers. Like I say, I think we might be looking towards 6,100 and something, even maybe 6,200. There goes the shipmates up on the top deck there with their flashing torches. I think they must have some sort of torch. They're very powerful with their mobile phones. Shipmate, your cruise questions is they're back on Iona for the first Norway trip. It's a good trip, the Norway one. Shipmate Ian Craig, Tips and Vlogs is off on Avia, 30th of March, for 2 weeks. I'm getting very jealous of all you shipmates going somewhere sunny and bright for 2 weeks. Well, the shipmate Stacey, a barn dweller, says what time is Balmoral departing? She is departing at 6 o'clock, so in fact she potentially is late. Well, I could check the map, couldn't I? I could do clever things like that, if I remember. So if we have a quick look on the map, there's Iona. She's just completed her swing in the centre there. There's Red Falcon, the red jet funnel. And then there's Balmoral, just the other end of Mayflower Park. And then Queen Mary 2 is delayed until 7:15. Well, I just noticed getting some really good reflections from the disco lights at the back of Iona there. Oh, shipmate Rabs Nesbitt says the 3 ships sailing today are the last 3 ships sailed on. Oh, out of those 3, shipmate, which do you prefer? The Iona, the Queen Mary 2, or the Balmoral? There's Queen Mary 2. I'm just about to see Iona behind. You can see quite considerably taller, broader, slightly heavier ship, the Iona, but only a few meters longer than Queen Mary 2. I was just checking my figures because I know that Queen Mary 2 is 345 metres. I didn't realise actually Iona is exactly the same length. Exactly the same length as Queen Mary 2. Both the Iona and Queen Mary 2 are the same length. Biggest difference is, though, is that the Queen Mary 2 is 148,000 gross tonnes, whereas Iona is 184,000 gross tonnes. So quite a bit bigger on that front. And of course, Iona has almost double the passenger capacity of Queen Mary 2. Oh, there's a bit more honking there, shipmate. Sorry, I missed it. Oh. There we go. Oh, I just managed to catch it then. Yeah, there was a bit of honking there between Iona and Queen Mary 2. You can hear the difference in the horns there, can't you? Queen Mary 2 is a really deep tone. It doesn't sound very loud, but it really travels well. Iona, I think Iona's sounds quieter, but is a bit more higher pitched. Excellent. Oh, we've done well with the horns today. I must sort out that outside microphone. Better way to control it. Not very effective, is it? Sometimes I have to turn it on and off, and then it takes a little while.
0.86. 0.86.
Yeah, I'll have to work out a better way of controlling that, I think. Well, Shipmate Kenny says, do our live streams also cover the arrivals? Well, we have the cameras running all the time. So if you do arrive in the morning, it will be on the cameras. Unfortunately, with this time of year, with the weather, it tends to be not very much to see because it's quite dark. But in the summer, we get some really good images.
Iona, around the western shore, railway bound.
Give me some numbers, Iona, come on.
Iona, thank you. Red Eagle, bound and launch way up to board the PGM on 81st.
Forward lobby, thank you.
A little look on the map, shall we, and see where... Nothing from Balmoral yet, and she hasn't radioed in. Due away at 7 o'clock, so she's now 15 minutes late as well. Well, the shipmate Silver Fox asking where is Iona off to? Well, Iona's off to what they call a Northern Europe itinerary. Northern European city escape, my apologies. Calling in at Hamburg, and then overnighting in Rotterdam. Then Zeebrugge in for Bruges, and then back here to the port of Southampton. So that's your Northern European city escape. Probably going to Hamburg, you'll take all the children to a miniature world. That's what I'm guessing. Still waiting on numbers. I can't wait for the numbers because I've got a couple of predictions that we think it might be really busy, as it's been suggested there are 1,300 children on board. I'm also looking forward to later in the next month when the clocks go forward. I think I've had enough of these grey, dark, miserable. Well, the shipmate Elizabeth Leaper says that hope the ice cream man returns in March. Well, he's normally there all year round, but for some reason Mayflower Park is still closed at the moment. He also does serve coffee and hot chocolates.
BTS, the Balmoral.
Oh, here's the Balmoral there.
Balmoral.
Yeah, about BTS, the Balmoral. Yeah, here we are. We're just about to wind up the elastic bands and get ready to go. About 1:30. 7.2 for Cadiz.
Balmoral, that's all good to see. Thank you.
Got some numbers for you if you've got your crayons out.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Crayons at the rest.
Passengers 709, crew 566.
Thank you.
Yeah, BTS, Red Jet 6, apologies,
Six forward.
There we go. Numbers for Balmoral. So she's kind enough to radio in some numbers. So I'm waiting on Iona's numbers. I think I heard that correctly because I typed it and then it didn't work. So I had to retype it. And Captain's brain might not have caught that. But I think he said 709 passengers and 566 crew. And she has a maximum capacity of between, well, roughly around 1,400. So Balmoral's quite light. And I think that was a bit mean of the pilot as well to say that Balmoral was ready. They were winding up the elastic bands. I mean, I know she's an old ship. Balmoral, built in 1988, but I know lots of people like travelling on her. Oh, shipmate Elizabeth Leeburn's got her own personal ice cream van. Shipmate Silver Fox thinks it doesn't take long for Iona to head out again after a 30-day cruise. Yep, no, they're never in port for more than a night. Quick in and out. Come in, fill up with LNG potentially, fill up with tomatoes and rum, ice creams, and of course eggs. Shipmate Tony once said, oh, I heard that correctly. I did type it. I typed it and it didn't come up on the screen, so I had to rely on the old memory. Yeah, good. So not so many people on Balmoral, but then it's not really a child-friendly ship. And I suspect all the grandparents, instead of travelling on Balmoral, they're actually travelling on Iona, taking the children, grandchildren on their first cruise. Yeah, shipmate Johnny B says, not a lot of passengers. No, actually, that would be quite an enjoyable cruise, wouldn't it? You've almost got one-to-one crew to passenger ratio. Those, I mean, I'm not saying that the demographics are all older people on Balmoral, but they're generally is older people. The crew on the Fred Olsen ships are lovely. I suspect it's because the passengers are really good as well. I don't expect they run around. They're probably not too demanding. Shipmates Kane Ease. What's Solent Ships? What's your favourite dining venue on Iona? Ooh, good question. Good question. What's my favourite dining option? Well, of course, you can't ignore the buffet. Always something for someone at the buffet. I'm trying to think. Last time I went, I couldn't get into any of the specialty restaurants because I totally ignored Paul from Love's Cruise advice about booking in advance. And when I went to book them, they're all booked out. But we did go to the Steak and Keel, I think it's called. And that's the steak restaurant in the middle of the ship. And it's a small additional charge. Cow and Keel, that's what it's called. It's a small additional charge. I don't remember how much it was. It wasn't a great deal. I think for a steak cooked exactly how you wanted it was something like £10. And then a bottle of wine was a few more. I can't remember, so many pounds. And then you could pay a little bit more for dessert. And I have to say, it wasn't very expensive. I think it was less than £20 per head, and it was very good. It was certainly worth spending that little bit extra. And also, I thought the Cow and Keel was a little bit quieter. It felt a bit more of a premium experience as well, so it was worth the money. And we tried to get into the Epicurean as well, but I couldn't get. I failed miserably. The whatever it's called, the Indian one, which I've forgotten the name. Tandoor. Keel and Cow, yeah, that's it. That's the one we tried to get into. I think we'd signed up for all of them in case anyone cancelled, but no one did. Other than that, all the other restaurants, the food is from the same menu. You just have a different ambience, different restaurant type. So some of the restaurants are big, some are more intimate. We tended to dine late, so it wasn't really too much an issue where we went. Oh, shipmate Jonathan Smith coming in with some good hot information here. He's suggesting that if you want to book and guarantee the Epicurean, you need to book at 1 minute past midnight, 14 days before the cruise. My word. That's a top tip there, shipmate. Well done. Thank you for that.
Yeah, good evening. Just wondering what time you reckon you'll be off that one. You're going on to the Blue Whale. Just look at the time. All received. Okay, we're set up for 2010. Western Tower, all received, thank you.
Well, the shipmate Ian Shuttleworth says they'll be on Queen Mary to November for a 4-week cruise from Southampton to the Caribbean and back, calling it New York twice. Oh, that's pretty good. That is. I didn't know there was such a cruise.
Oh, Westminster, Fleet, yes, good evening.
Sindhu, thank you there. Shipmate Elizabeth, a couple of you said Sindhu. I've totally forgot. Oh, it's been so long since I've talked about the ships.
We'll see. Thank you. If you can maintain.
The information's fallen out the poor captain's brain. 4 weeks on the Queen Mary 2, and that's transatlantic to New York, then around the Caribbean, and then transatlantic back. I think you're ticking all of the boxes that anyone would possibly want, apart from maybe a world cruise, I suppose. But that's quite practical, isn't it? 4 weeks. Well, that's wonderful. Well, it sounds like they're winding up the elastic bands on Balmoral. Still hasn't moved as yet. No, still down there. We're just following P&O's Iona down Southampton water, out to the freshly renamed Gulf of Warsash. There's some. I do like the internet. There's some excellently funny things that people do. People have got some great imaginations. Right, I was going to look at something. What was I going to look at? Okay, let's have a look. Let's see what else. Like I say, it's starting to get a little bit busier here in the Port of Southampton now. I've noticed on the 19th, we've got Norwegian Breakaway departing at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd imagine she's off for a refit. Don't know that we see a great deal of Norwegian Breakaway on this channel. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be in port on that day. I shall be making a little film for you all. I'm visiting a museum up in Stoke-on-Trent. I happen to be in the area for other reasons, and while I'm there, I'm taking the opportunity to visit a museum. Shipmate Wayno says the Epicurean food was fantastic. Well, thanks for that, shipmate. Now you're really making me annoyed that I couldn't get in. Shipmate Shepherd Book says, they win the lottery, they'll buy a condo on the world. Oh, yes, excellent. That's one of those cruise ships where you actually buy your cabin. I think you lease it for something like 10 or 12 years, something like that. Eddie Murray suggests it should be the Golfy McGolfface. Classic there. That's never gonna get old, that, is it? Johnny B. No, it hasn't actually been named the Gulf of Warsash. No, because of the Donald Trump has renamed the Gulf of Mexico to be the Gulf of America. People are renaming everything just out of amusement values. I saw another map which had renamed the Atlantic the Gulf of Portugal. I think it should be renamed the Gulf of Cornwall. All right, what's that? Something following up behind? It's one of the red Falcons. Shipmate Jonathan says Epicurean is amazing. If you're used to fine dining, that's why I booked it 40 nights. Oh, yes, I did. When we were on board, we did see a lunch. They showed us some samples of what lunch was. And yes, I would agree. If you like your fine dining, absolutely fantastic. I don't remember how much more it was. Do you remember how much it was as a supplement, Jonathan Smith? I don't remember how much it was. Well, I never actually got on to pay for it, so... don't think they're too expensive. I'll quick look at the map to see if Balmoral's on the move, because at this rate she'll be busy winding up her elastic bands, and Queen Mary 2 will be departing. Queen Mary 2 is departing at 7:15. I realise I'm neglected to refill my drinking grog. I might have to... I shall continue following the ships, but I'm just going to nip down to the galley and get myself a drink. And does that shipmate Jonathan says £18 each? Oh no, that's jolly good value. Oh, excellent. No, I really am annoyed. So it turns out the Epicurean has good food. It's not very expensive. I totally missed out on it. Right, okay, next time I shall be more prepared. Well, the shipmate Helen F. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Many thanks for subscribing. I have noticed seeing a subscriber there. Oh, yes. Well, I don't normally like saying this, but oh no, hang on, it's only 56. Well, I'll just say we're 9 subscribers away from 57,000, so I thought it was 60,000. No, it's a little while yet. So, but yeah, if you haven't subscribed, please do think about subscribing. Helps the channel out quite a lot. Right, now let's go and get my drink. Right, that's better. For some reason, when I take my phone to control the camera, it was a bit laggy down the galley. Shipmate Jonathan Spears said, wow, I realised he spent £784. Oh, £28 per head. Oh, yes, must be in Denali. He says, okay, even £28 sounds very good. £18 did seem very cheap. 784. Gosh, you must have eaten in there every day. Oh, shipmate, ship. Oh, yes, Balmoral was on the screen. Right, let's have Balmoral back. There we go. Finally got those elastic bands all tight. Have we had any numbers from Iona yet? I haven't. I might have turned the radio off. Shipmate Rab Nesbitt says that his good lady friend is off for Europe for work. Should have booked one of those last-minute cruises from Southampton. Should have done that, shipmate. Should have done that. I'll give you an idea of... Nope, that's Cunard. There we go. Here's some Balmoral pricing for you and idea of itineraries. Balmoral, she's off. Where's Balmoral off to? Balmoral's off on a 22-day one-way trip to Puerto Limon in Costa Rica. Well, that's an interesting cruise. Where'd she go after that then? 45-day round trip round the rainforests and ruins of Central America. One of the advantages of ships like the Balmoral, and in fact a lot of the Fred Olsen ships, is they're much smaller than the likes of P&O's Iona and Avia and a lot of most bigger cruise ships. It means you can get into a lot smaller ports. Well, Johnson Smith says, all 14 nights and breakfast. I didn't know you could have breakfast in there as well. Oh, my word. Well, that is quite impressive. But anyway, this is an idea of a cruise on Balmoral for later this year. So from Southampton to Rouen overnight, day at sea, Antwerp overnight, and then back to the port of Southampton. And that's from $739 per person. Seems reasonable. Quite a lot more for a balcony. That's one of the things I've noticed with the older ships. They don't have as many balconies. The balconies tend to be a lot more expensive. Modern ships, they make sure that there's as many balconies as possible because that's what people like. Here's one for May this year. Scenic Waterways Cruise. That's going to Oslo, Norway. And then Olsefjord, Gothenburg in Sweden, Copenhagen in Denmark, and then the Kiel Transit. Wow, so it's cutting through from Copenhagen to the English Channel via the Kiel Transit. Oh, that's quite novel, isn't it? That was a bit different. It's almost like the European version of the Panama Canal. And that's 8 nights from $10.99 per person. I would definitely be paying for a balcony, although that's an ocean view price there, I've just noticed. Oh, Jonathan said the suites have breakfast in Epicurean. Oh. That's definite advantage, isn't it? So this is the Fred Olsen Balmoral. She's off on a 22-day one-way trip to Puerto Limon. And she's calling in at Cadiz in Spain. Then Lanzarote.
Yes, Red Jet 6, departing Town Quay for cows, please.
Red Jet 6, thank you. Britannia, approaching cabin, going to SO6. Iona, passing SO3, will be clear channel.
All received, thank you.
And then after Lanzarote, she's calling at Gran Canaria. Then she's following on to Saint Martin in the Antilles. Then BVI. Then Santo Dominica in the Dominican Republic, Cartagena in Colombia, and then finally arriving at Puerto Limon in Costa Rica. Following on from that, it's a 45-day round trip, rainforests and ruins. And that goes all the way back to Southampton, so I suppose... I see. If you stay on the ship, it actually round trips back to Southampton from Puerto Limon. After Puerto Limon, it calls in at Cozumel, Belize, Roatan Island, Kingston, Jamaica, Hamilton, Bermuda, and then Ponta Delgado in the Azores. And that is a 45-day cruise, if you fancy that. And I think prices start from about £4,000, which doesn't seem too bad for 45 days, does it? Absolutely interesting itinerary as well. Shipmate Rab Nesbitt said they've sailed down the Kiel Canal on the Braemar. Very strange, like sailing down a corridor. Yeah, I guess that's a good way of putting it. Effectively, that's what it is, isn't it? Sailing down a corridor.
BG Emerald. Good evening.
There's Iona heading down to the Gulf of Walsash, or as we actually call it, the Solent.
So, we're fully past the Mary 2, so she's due away from 38.9 at 19.15. Other than that, you've got the Iona passing SO5 and the Balmoral just started her swing off 101 for Amble bound.
There's that lovely Ocean Network Express ship in STC5. You can see in the background. Lovely magenta colour on those. Which one is that? That's the it's the One Innovation. Certainly brightened it up. I saw come in on the camera earlier. Certainly brightened up the grey day here in the port of Southampton with a lovely magenta coloured ship arriving in port. Might be on the edge of ferry cam now. Ooh, just about, I suppose. Fred Olsen's Balmoral, it's 37 years old, built in 1988, built at a cost of 180 million US dollars.
Count 1.
Compared to the other ships, she's 218 metres long, whereas Iona and Queen Mary 2 are both 345, and only 43,000 gross tonnes. Makes something like a quarter of the tonnage of Iona. Passenger capacity is round about 1,400, and she's called in with 709 passengers and 566 crew. Quite light on the passenger front today. And she was last refurbished in 2024. Something you do notice when you go around on the older Fred Olsen ships, they do feel a bit more dated. I don't mean that in a bad way. It just reminds me somewhat of a cross-channel ferry with some of its sort of design features. Not like the modern ships at all. But like I say, the advantage is you can get into much smaller ports. And there we go. There's Deja Vu, the Indian restaurant. No longer Mr. Cooties. Changed names. Now Deja Vu. Does make focusing the camera quite tricky. Yes, I think Norwegian Getaway. No, Norwegian Breakaway. Let's have a quick look. I think Norwegian Breakaway is heading off for a refit. And she departs here from the port of Southampton at 3 o'clock. Oh, look, see what we can find. Okay, she's currently on her way back from Florida via Ponta Delgado in the Azores. And then the next trip is a month's time from Southampton to Barcelona. Yes, I would say that the Norwegian Breakaway is off for a refit. Oh, ahoy the shipmate Bueno, says the 8 at Deja Vu last night. Lovely pre-curry cruise. Oh, excellent. I haven't been there yet. I've been meaning to ask if anyone's been.
No, thank you. BG Emerald has now boarded in with them.
Shipmate David Seraphine says he would change the Solent to the moo of cows. Yeah, okay. Well, the shipmate Richard 20 says any numbers for Iona. No, shipmate. Annoyingly, we've had no numbers for Iona, and it's a real frustration because we were talking earlier that with someone suggesting there was 1,300 children on board, it's quite likely to be a very, very full ship, as most of the cabins, I would imagine, would be maximum occupancy rather than just double occupancy. Berry Terminal's looking quiet. The Red Osprey has now gone back to Falmouth for the annual service, which is down to the 2 Red Funnel ferries here in the port of Southampton. That's the winter timetable. Once the summer timetable kicks in, there'll be 3 ferries back in service, but it's a little bit quieter in the winter. Can't see too many up on deck on Balmoral. I suppose being 7:15, it probably is peak dining time. What's Balmoral? So, yeah, so some interesting cruises coming up with Balmoral. 45 days to rainforest and ruins of Central America. Looks really interesting. And then she's based in Southampton for a while. And then she's based up in Edinburgh, up in Leith. And then based in Newcastle for a bit. Back to Southampton. Then Valencia for a while. Then Rome. Then Dubrovnik. Rhodes Island for a little couple of cruises. Malaga. Back to Southampton, 26. Then Newcastle upon Tyne, and then Leith. God, he gets around. Well, the shipmate Matthew Bateman, yes, he's confirming what I suspected. He's off for a refit, a bit of a dry docking.
And
Well, the shipmate Willie Beef says, just arrived, says, have we had any honking? Yes, we have, actually. We had, Iona gave us a couple of honks when she reversed, and then there was a horn exchange between Queen Mary 2 and Iona just as they passed the dock head.
Hi, Bex, we're telling you.
Oh. Looks like the camera's gone all 1970s. No one camera. Join the 21st century. I think it's the Deja Vu restaurant. It causes the cameras to struggle. That's better. There we go. Next away in approximately half an hour is the Queen Mary 2. So pretty much we're going to be back-to-back ships departing today. Oh, shipmate Ralph Nesbitt's got a useful bit of information for us here. Balmoral, he says, sails under the 3 bridges on the Forth River.
BTS ready, go northwest next. Permission to carry on speed, please, with caution to the Balmoral.
ready, all yes please. Balmoral swing complete, now alphabet.
That's received, thank you.
Yes, being a smaller ship with a lower air draft.
Yep, BTS to Balmoral, as you say, swing complete and heading towards that pier head buoy.
And the Balmoral, thank you.
That's a very jolly pilot on board the Balmoral. Shipmate Heddy Birdie says it was 1970s Top of the Pops. It was, wasn't it? Just imagine Pan's people in the background. Well, the shipmate Karen does it. So if the passengers, figures she looked up, for passengers on Iona, she says 6,264. Well, that's a maximum, but we don't actually know how many are on board. They didn't let us know. Normally the pilots radio in with the information telling you how many passengers are on board, how many crew are on board, then normally it's a +1 for the pilot. Or perhaps it's the captain's girlfriend. I must say it's certainly looking in good shape. There's old Fred Olsen line here. Well, there's shipmate Paul James. Many thanks for subscribing, shipmate. Welcome aboard. Hull's looking very clean. She did have a refit last year. I'm not quite sure when. So that's probably why she's looking jolly sharp. Oh, shipmate Paul from Love Chris. Yeah, Pan's people all legs and co. I mean, that's a good question. I probably wasn't old enough to really have a decision either way on that one. Ellie Murray says they don't make it like they used to. No, that's true. No more Top of the Pops anymore. Although I still see, I think you can still buy the now that's what I call music albums. I think they're still churning those out at a rate of knots. Except for alarmingly, it's something like now that's what I call music number 126 or something. Crazy numbers. Iona's make the turn. She's heading round the Gulf of Walsash towards Bramblebank. There's Queen Mary 2 at Dockhead. Yeah, we can actually see the lines. Good. Get some good views from these cameras. And there's Balmoral passing by the crew of the ferry tunnel here at Town Quay. Shipmate Paul from Love Cruise says, now 119. It's the latest. Gosh, 119. Suffering with the bright lights here in port. I can't wait until it gets lighter and the clocks go forwards. As we get these 1970s lights.
Southampton VTS grid.
Shipmate Ellie Burley says it was now 40 when she was buying them. I think you might be a bit out of date there, shipmate. Well, there's shipmate Bruce Max watching from Palm Harbour in Florida. I bet your weather, shipmate, is a slight bit better than ours here in the port of Southampton. We're currently experiencing prolonged periods of grey. We haven't seen, some of the cities here haven't seen the sun for 7 days. I did see a few people earlier walking around the decks, but I'm suspecting everyone's inside. Yeah, it looks pretty quiet out on deck. But I can't say I'm surprised. The weather is not exactly enticing, is it? Currently we're down to 5.5 degrees. Gentle breeze. Visibility of 10 nautical miles. I would say the visibility is almost a bit better than that. Not brilliant visibility. It doesn't seem that bad.
Southampton, that's all received. Thank you. And currently outbound to cruise ship Iona in the Solent Channel.
Just having a look at the stern of Queen Mary 2. Can't see any dock hands there. Ready to let the lines go. Queen Mary 2 is due away at 7:15. She was delayed. She was due away initially.
Yes, from SB. That's us leaving the Empress for the Balmoral. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you.
That's the sort of the Southampton patrol boats there, just radioing in. They're leaving Empress Dock and they're going to escort Balmoral down Southampton water. I noticed the air bridge is still up. I don't know that she's going to be leaving at 7:15. Well, the shipmate have for quill eat, asking, has Iona left? Iona has indeed left, shipmate. She is heading round Bramblebank through the Gulf of Warsash out to the English Channel. She left on time. However, Queen Mary 2 has been delayed, and I think as that air bridge is out, I'm not entirely sure she's even going to make 7:30. 7:15, I mean. Well, then shipmate Johnny B's heading down to the galley. That's not a bad shout, that shipmate. It's not a good timing of the site. It was ideal timing when they initially, but they've messed it all up, haven't they? There we go. That's the way it happens. So we've got Cow's Cam is working at the moment, so it'd be interesting if we can see Iona on Cow's Cam, see how that looks. Oh, Queen Mary 2's on the radio.
Queen Mary 2, VHS, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Sam. Going to station here shortly, 38.9 berth. She's bound for Lisbon. Maximum draft is 10.2, and I've got the numbers of your
Queen Mary 2, VHS, yes, please.
Okay, total passengers 2558, total crew 1255.
Queen Mary 2, that's all received, thank you. We're 40 past for you with the Fiji Emerald. And she's just at St. Helens Company.
Okay, yeah, we're looking good for 1915 away. I'll let you know if that changes.
Queen Mary 2, that's all received, thank you.
There we go, passenger numbers for Queen Mary 2. So she's got 2,558 passengers and it was 1,200 and something crew. I couldn't quite hear. The radio faded out just at the most inopportune moment. So she's got a maximum capacity of just over 3,000. So yeah, a little light on passengers. And 1,200 and something crew is pretty much standard issue. Can't imagine there'll be too many travelling on the Queen Mary 2. Too many children, I mean. But at least it sounds as though she might be ready to go. Or still the air bridge is out. Oh, no. I see, look, I can see they're loading some last stores there. There's big orange crate things. Certainly got an excellent view on box cam though. All the lines on the stern. In fact, even I think Netley cam gets us a really good view of the front. It's a bit unresponsive at the moment, Netley cam, for some reason. And I've also noticed that I've lost Cow's cam again. Come on. There we go. There's SP down there at the front. See the lines there on the Queen Mary 2. Air bridge still across, and I don't see too many shipmates down on the dock side there either. Struggling a little bit with the darkness. Roll on springtime.
Cafe Teresa. Cafe Teresa, Southampton VTS.
Or there should be Alexandra wondering if Iona has passed on Cow's cam. No, not passed yet. Let's have a quick look at the map. I think she's a little distance away. It's always surprising how far they've got to go past Cow's before they're on the camera. Yeah, be on the camera shortly, I would think. Nothing as yet on Cow's cam. You can see Balmoral going past the dock head there. Still a bit of activity down at the dock side. Queen Mary 2 in full party mode. There we go. And now over on Cow's cam. And there is Iona over on Cow's cam. You don't get to see them for quite so long over on Cow's cam. They do tend to whiz by. Obviously, they're going much faster at this point. Probably doing somewhere around 15, 16 knots, I would think. Let's have a quick check, shall we? See what it actually is. Yeah, 15.3 knots. Much better in this, when it's lighter. Not so much to see when it's dark. Great though if you live in Cowes and you've got a view over the water. All of the vast majority of the ships that come into the port of Southampton will sail via Cowes, past Cowes. Looks like they're still loading stores onto Queen Mary 2. Maybe that was the issue. Let's go. Iona's heading off. Heading off to Hamburg. Day at sea, then Hamburg for a day. Then overnighting in Rotterdam, popping into Bruges on the way back. And then finally returning to the wonderful port of Southampton. Let's have a check on... Nope, lines are still there. Not much going on. Air bridge still up. Stores still being loaded. Oh, with the shipmate Nigel Smith says once saw QE2 sailed to Southampton, having come across Solent passing via Yarmouth. Yes, occasionally do. In fact, the Celebrity Apex last year made a bit of a habit of sailing out that way, sailing past Yarmouth. She was the only cruise ship I remember that would go that way. They can go that way. There's no reason to stop them. I did ask Chris from VTS one day. He said it's sort of captain's decision, and apparently the captain of the Apex is quite happy to go past the Needles. Got some wonderful shots of the Celebrity Apex passing the Needles. It looked really good. But I believe there was a number of years ago there was a couple of close incidents, and it's generally put captains off of larger vessels. My eye on the stern of Queen Mary 2, so she is due away in 7 minutes time. It looks, I was about to say, it looks like they've finished loading stores, and then promptly another pallet of stores goes on, so they obviously haven't quite finished yet. But Queen Mary 2 is due away very shortly. Had some lovely haulage from Queen Mary 2 earlier. What have we got this week? So yes, we've got the early departure at 3 o'clock. on Wednesday of the Norwegian breakaway. Then Thursday we have the Ada Nova in. She'll be bright and colourful as always. Might well broadcast that one. That's 7:30. They're always quite pretty, just here in Ocean Terminal as well. Then Friday MSC Preziosa, and then at the weekend Iona it's back out again to do the same cruise. Having a look further on the week. Oh, and actually the 1st of March we have a similar situation. We have Iona and the Queen Mary 2. Hopefully that will watch that one again. Let's see if they'll leave on time. Started to get a bit busier. Definitely you can see as March goes on. Definitely see more and more ships come in. Then the 25th of March, the brand new ship, the Norwegian Aqua, arrives. And then on the 28th of March, she departs transatlantic with myself on board. We're going transatlantic from Southampton to the Boston, Massachusetts on a brand new ship. I see the air bridge has now retracted. So maybe that's the last lot of stores going on. No, looks like potentially another pallet load. I'm sure there's a crazy number of eggs that get consumed on board. Yeah, I could definitely see a few people now wandering around the back. They've probably finished with the buffet, haven't they? Stretching their legs, making room for dessert. No, they're still loading more stores from what I can see. Yeah, there's like some stool loading some stores. Still loading stores. Shipmate Caney wants thinks letting going soon. I think well, the air bridge is away, but I don't see any shipmates on the shore there. It's normally a good sign that something's going to be happening soon, but no, I can't see any shipmates there. Oh, no, more stores going on. Not finished yet. Yeah, it's a pity we didn't hear the numbers on Iona. Well, the shipmates, Nicola D. Welcome aboard, shipmate, and thanks for subscribing. So we might have a few deckhands now down at a few linesmen down at the dockside there. Still loading stores though. Yeah, it's quite colossal, the amount of stores that have to be loaded onto these ships. I think you've got 3,000 people on board and 1,200 odd crew. You're going to eat and drink quite a lot of produce. Still loading stores. Or perhaps they had a late delivery. Well, I'm going to have to nip down to the galley for a second, shipmates, but I shall continue following, and I shall be back shortly.
Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS. Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS, that's all received. Many thanks. Out. BG Emerald, Southampton VTS. BG Emerald, Southampton VTS, that's all received. Many thanks. Break, Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS. Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS, answer yes, 2010, BG Emerald, hook time, over.
I can't hear Queen Mary 2 on the radio. I mean, it's odd because the antenna for the radio is very near this camera and I can actually see the ship, so I'm not quite sure why I can't pick up the radio. Guessing they were trying to confirm departure time because there's a ship coming in at the hook, so I didn't hear the replies. They're probably trying to sort out a pass at Fawley. The BG Emerald is currently a small container ship. I'll show you on the map. She's currently heading towards Cowes. Obviously, Queen Mary 2 is up here. And Queen Mary 2 is a clear channel vessel all the way to about here. But there is one place they can pass, which is just here by Fawley. But BG Emerald's already motoring along, so as long as Queen Mary 2 can get out in time, she'll be able to pass here. But if BG Emerald happens to be here much before Queen Mary 2, then Queen Mary 2 will have to wait. Shipmate Paul from Charles Bond's Lovecraft. He's talking about the number of eggs on board a ship. I knew it was a massive number. I couldn't remember how many it was. Oh, looks like they might be letting go lines. See some frantic activity down there now. 60,000 eggs for a week's cruise. I mean, that just doesn't seem like a sensible number. I mean, even if you've got 5,000 people on board, that's a lot of eggs per person, isn't it? But I think they use them in cooking as well, don't they? Not just eggs as eggs, but eggs as other things. Eggs in cakes. Oh, looks like they might be letting go some lines.
6 Southampton VTS. Yes, you may proceed if safe to do so. Over.
I think that's what was happening on the radio. They were ready to let go lines so that they can pass BG Emerald at the Fawley Pass. Fawley Deep. going to...
UKD Bluefin, Southampton VTS, that's all received. Traffic information for you. The Iona, just south of Gilkicker, outbound. And the Balmoral, approaching the Hook Buoy, outbound to the east. Over.
Well, this should be Barbara. I think Barbara, memory serves me correctly, lives in Switzerland, I think.
Southampton VTS, ready, go, solid departing, roll, free scouts.
Red Eagle, Southampton VTS, that's all received. Traffic information, Red Jet 6, dockhead in. Over.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
We've got some lines coming down on Queen Mary too. They were busy sweeping up. Looks like a couple of spillage. Might have spilled some potatoes or something on the loading deck there. I've certainly had one line down. They'll enter a stage that they call singling up, where there'll just be one line at the bow, one at the stern, one in the middle. They'll make sure the engines are all fired up. Those elastic bands are tight. Off they go. Shipmate Robert Lund says, hope there's enough sprouts on board. Certainly the right time of year for sprouts, isn't it? The peak season for sprouts is sort of January, February time, February, March. But I don't know. They seem to be very divisive as a vegetable. I quite enjoy Brussels sprouts. I enjoy roasted ones, certainly. Not too many shipmates up on deck, but then what we look at now is still around 5C. Gentle breeze. Tide is rising. Shipmate Green Fingers says 60,000 eggs. You must be yoking. Yes, surely you don't need 60,000 eggs.
Balmoral VTS, that's
Surely 50,000 would be enough.
CMA CGM Bloom Whale, 7 miles south of the NAB Tower. Boarding her pilot at 2010 at Bravo. Titus, southeast of the NAB Tower. Boarding her pilot Bravo at 2025. Over.
Looks like they're lifting the hatch up. All right, okay. What's going on there then? Looks like they're taking a line from the telehandler. Let's see if I can get a bit closer. I think I'm on maximum zoom. Oh, no, a bit more zoom left. Losing quality there, aren't we? It is night time. Yeah, I'll go back a bit. It wasn't really very helpful, was it? There we go. Yes, it looks like they've connected the telehandler to that hatch. We were loading the pallets down onto that. Oh, there we go. You can see it. Oh, is it a hatch or is it a lift? Oh, it's a plate. Is it a plate? Yeah, it is a plate, isn't it? Oh. It's some sort of entire structure. Oh, I've not seen them do that before.
Iona, Southampton VTS, that's message received. Traffic information, CMA CGM Blue Whale, 7 miles south of the NAB Tower, boarding at 2010. Cafe Teresa, 3 miles southeast of the NAB Tower, heading up, she'll be staying east of the Deepwater route. And the Titus, 7 miles east-southeast of the NAB Tower, in for Bravo at 2025. Over.
Well, that's interesting. So those little platforms must rest down on something that's floating below, and that's where they were loading the goods onto. I've not seen that before.
Southampton VTS, you'll be west of the tower. That's all received. Out.
I saw a message there from shipmate Danny. Says, have I done my tour of VTS? No, I haven't yet, actually. I was talking to Chris at VTS a while back, and he suggested that somewhere in December would be a good... Well, somewhere in December things were happening, it'd be a good time. So I did message him, but I'll try him again. I didn't expect it necessarily to be in December, but I think somewhere in the new year before they get too busy. They've moved around the port a bit, and they've had a refurbishment. So it all sounds very impressive. Got massive great screens on the wall and lots of information. So I definitely want to go. I'll have to message him again. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready to take away the next platform.
Red Falcon, Southampton VTS, that's message received. Traffic information, BG Emerald, South Right Middle Boy inbound, and the Balmoral, Blackjack Boy, outbound to the east, over.
Just about to see the lines on this view as well. A little tricky with all those bright lights down at the dockhead. Oh, there's the next platform coming out. Yep, that's the next platform out. Telehandler's taking it away. We've had one line down. I expect to see a few more lines come down rapidly. So it looks like we're going to be just due away at 5. So almost 3 hours late.
Emerald, Southampton VTS, that's message received. Traffic information, the Red Falcon, shortly departing Cows in for Southampton, over. Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS. Queen Mary 2, Southampton VTS, that's message received. Many thanks, out.
So I don't understand. If I can see the ship, I don't understand why my antenna can't pick up the radio signal. Very odd. Oh, yep, see a line going down. I think we could be ready for the off very shortly. The platforms have been taken away. All stores have been loaded. The ship is full of eggs. Although, as I always say, one egg is enough. Shipmate Shepherd Book, who's in Texas, says that the prices of eggs are on the increase. I think there's a whole problem with avian flu going around, isn't there? There we go, there's another line coming in. I want to see the lines on the front of the ship. Just about see one. Oh, I can see 2. Try zooming in a bit. It's tricky at night time. Doesn't necessarily gain us any more detail, just makes the blur bigger. Oh no, actually that sort of worked. Yeah, I can see 1. Oh no, see 2 or 3. Oh, there's shipmate Andy G7. Welcome aboard, shipmate. And thanks for subscribing. We are here in the port of Southampton today, watching the Very late departure of Queen Mary 2. Due away at 5 o'clock. She's probably won't get away till a few minutes' time, so almost 3 hours late. And there we go. A whole load of lines coming down. All right, I think things are on the go now. We've waited long enough. I'm hoping we might hear some horns, but I suspect unlikely. Shipmate Chef Book says, what else does a ship need to have? Rum. Needs adequate supplies of rum.
UKD Bluefin, Southampton VTS.
Yes, you can see the lines also at the front of the ship have come in as well. There we go. Looks like all lines are in.
UKD Bluefin, Southampton VTS. That's message received. Information. Cowshot tide gauge 1.63 on the flood. Over.
Ship exit Blue Spanner Carmen thinks all these eggs may be an extravagance. Shipmate Rab Nesbit suggesting that we travel on Celebrity Eclipse. I think someone's been at the Christmas crackers. Well, there's Shipmate Paul Hawkins. Welcome aboard, Shipmate. May I thanks for subscribing. Oh, Shipmate Green Fingers says they were looking at Madeira a few days ago, and Queen Mary 2 was moored up in the beautiful sunshine. Oh, yes, I've just had some friends return from Madeira, and they said it was a wonderful break. It wasn't very warm. I think it was high teens, 20, 21. But compared to the UK, just what the doctor ordered. They did have a couple of days of rain, but overall, during the course of their week's stay, that was very good. Well, the shipmate Alistair Adam asked any ideas on the delay. Well, we've been watching them loading stores until just a couple of minutes ago. So my suggestion is that they were still loading stores. Whether or not stores were delayed or it's just they've had some other problem. They did have to use a couple of platforms, which I can't say I've seen before. So maybe they had some issues loading stores, which has caused the delay. My ears are peeled for potential haulage. Just moving away from the dockhead. Cameras are struggling with this sort of dark time. Shipmate Alistair Adams is missing cruising due to single supplements. Yeah, there's a few shipmates that have been talking about that lately. The single supplements seem to be quite expensive. I was talking to Fraser at Sea the other day, and he was telling me that sometimes he's had to pay more on a cruise as a single passenger than two people have had to pay. It's jolly outrageous, I say. All right, let's get some prices for a trip on Queen Mary 2, shall we? How about a short break to Hamburg later on in May? 4 nights on board if you want to experience Queen Mary 2. I mean, I think she's a very different from the other cruise ships. And I know she's a cruise liner, but you know what I mean. It's a very old-fashioned, but in a stately way. Inside cabins for 4 nights from $599. A balcony from $699. Perhaps you'd like something, a few more nights. Paul sent this one over and I looked at it and I thought to myself, actually, that's not a bad price. From £2,350 for 21 nights. And that's going Spain, Portugal and North Africa. Calling in Funchal, Dakar in Senegal, St. Vincent and Grenadines, Tenerife, Lanzarote and Lisbon. Again, quite some interesting destinations there. Of course, you probably really want to know where Queen Mary 2 is going today, don't you? That's probably more relevant. Queen Mary 2 today is off on what is probably ideally suited for this time of year, a 14-night round trip to the Canary Islands. Calling at Lisbon in Portugal, Funchal in Madeira, Santa Cruz in the Canary Islands, Tenerife in the Canary Islands, Lanzarote in the Canary Islands, one last stop in Spain, Cadiz, and then back to the UK. There's also overnighting in Funchal as well. Apparently, I think there's pretty vibrant nightlife in Funchal. Excellent Blue Spanner. Carmen says she's getting exhausted now. Has there been more egg jokes? Is there? I think it's all a bit runny, some of those jokes.
TS, Red Jet 6, shortly away from Town Quay.
Eddie Millie says nothing wrong with a good yoke.
Red Jet 6, Southampton BTS, that's all received. Traffic information, Queen Mary 2. Departed 3839 berth outbound. And BG Emerald, Prince Consort Boy in. Over.
Copy the queue.
I don't think we're going to get any more haulage from Queen Mary 2, which is a pity. She's slowly moving away from the dockhead. Well, I don't know about you shipmates, but this late departure of Queen Mary 2 is rather annoyingly crashing into galley time. I would have liked to have had a gap in between, or for her to have left earlier. Been a while since we've had all the ships leave promptly on the right time. Need more German ships in port. They're very good at leaving on time. In fact, sometimes they leave early just to really confuse the captain. Yeah, so that's the ideas and some prices. I'll show you the other one as well. That's one probably a little more expensive, but that doesn't seem to. 4 nights on the Queen Mary 2. Scenic sailing on the River Elbe. I've started reading there's even more jokes in the chat. Oh dear. I think you've all been at the Christmas crackers again, haven't you? I'll just remind everyone, if you didn't know, we've got a group cruise going to Hamburg on Sky Princess on October the 14th. If you have a look on Paul's page there, you'll find out some more information. Hi there, shipmate Ursula Harrison. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Adam's asking, did we get any figures for Iona? No, I didn't get any. I didn't hear it on the radio. She was going to tell us before she left port, but she never did. So we don't have any idea. But we're generally suspecting, as one of the shipmates said, there were 1,300 children on board. That was going to be a very busy cruise. Yeah, so if you're interested in joining our group cruise, come along, have a look at the webpage, and join the Facebook group, because I don't think this will be the first and only one. We'll have some more, and they'll probably be at different times of years to cope with other people's timetables and demands. Shipmate Willie Beef, there's got to be a stew left, so I'm starving. Yes, I should be alright when I get to the galley. It's just I hadn't anticipated still being in my broadcast cabin at 7:45. Well, that looks like she's now heading forward, heading past Dockhead. I'll have a quick look on the timetable for when the next broadcast might be. I'm not sure at the moment. If you fancy seeing something a bit different, there will be a departure on Wednesday of Norwegian Breakaway. And that's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is a little unusual. Then Ada Nova on the Thursday. I'll probably do Ada Nova on the Thursday at 7:30. I'll make sure I'll visit the galley first, and also, of course, being German, I'm sure she'll leave promptly. Then there's the MSC Preziosa from Friday. I tend not to do the MSC Preziosa. It doesn't necessarily suit being on screen at night. She's a little, compared to Ada Nova, not lit so well. I think that's what I'm struggling to say. Then next weekend, Iona's back again, and I shall definitely be doing Iona then because I've got a couple of friends on board. And I'm making sure this time they'll be on the correct side of the ship, the left side, the port side, rather than wandering around aimlessly. Well, the shipmate Autotech Motor Engineers has kind of give a shout out to Andy Carno, just recovering from illness. Well, ahoy there, Andy. Andy Carno, I hope you get better soon. This doesn't sound like a good way to start the year with a serious illness, but at least you're better, I guess. Shipmate Alistair is booked on Arvia next year. Oh, and hopefully someone will take the spare space to avoid the supplements. Now, that's a really good idea. Surely you must have a shipmate friend who'd be willing to share the cabin. Right, shipmates, I shall continue following the Queen Mary 2 down Southampton water on her way for a 14-night round trip to Canary Islands, but I'm going to head down to the galley and start my prep work. So just, if you haven't subscribed, please do think about subscribing, and if you have subscribed already, many thanks. Thanks to all my PayPal donors, Patreons, a couple of new members of the channel we've had today. Brilliant, thank you very much. And, of course, many thanks to Blue Spanner crew, who are not just here for these live streams, but for all live streams, you know, for cameras are running all the time. Although Itching Cam's broken, which I do need to go and fix. Right, till next time, shipmates.
Yes, Queen Mary 2, Western Shore.
Queen Mary 2, Southampton BTS, that's all received traffic information. BG Emerald, approaching West Brambleboy inbound, followed by the Red Falcon, inbound for Southampton, over.
Thank you.
UKD Bluefin, Southampton VTS. UKD Bluefin, Southampton VTS, that's all received. Traffic update for you. Outbound Queen Mary 2, Dean's Elbow Boy, clear channel vessel, over.
Alice, Southampton VTS.